Hi everyone, I'm Gina. Welcome to Grey Horse Yoga. So today we're going to do a sequence of balancing yoga poses. So we know how important balance is when we are in the saddle. So if we can help to cultivate a little bit of that balance while we are out of the saddle, it should help us while we are in the saddle on an animal that is moving. So we're going to start with a couple basic balancing poses today. So you're going to come into what we call mountain pose, our basic standing foundation pose. So we want the feet to be hip distance apart. So hip distance is where the thigh bone comes into the pelvis. So it's not the outside of your hip. So this is a little too wide. And in some instances, we do keep the big toes together, but for this practice, we want to find our mountain pose, our feet hip distance apart. So think of the sternum lifting, think of widening across the collarbones, think of lengthening up through the crown of the head. So think of the upper body just like you would in the saddle, so this nice length of the spine. Just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So this again is our foundation, our mountain pose. We should feel even weight in both feet at this moment. And then inhale, float the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, press up through the palms. So the palms are pressing up towards the ceiling or sky, wherever you are. Make sure as you press the palms up that the lower ribs don't jut forward. So we don't want to have this position. We're going to think of drawing the lowest ribs down towards the hips. So we're keeping that integrity in the spine. And then find a focal point, something to gently gaze at. And then we're keeping your focus on that focal point and keeping your breath. You're just going to gently lift the heels up off the mat, just balancing on your toes. So make sure you're breathing. When we do a balance in yoga, we want to keep that steady, even flow of the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So this is helping to build some strength in the feet and the ankles, and core strength in the front and the back of the body and the sides of the body. Inhaling and exhaling, and then just very gently lower the heels back down to the mat. So we're going to do that a couple times, just moving with the breath now. So we're going to inhale, lift up onto the toes, and then exhale, see if you can slowly lower the heels back down. So inhale again, lifting up onto the toes. And exhale, and slowly lower down. Good, one more time. Inhale, lifting up onto the toes. And exhale, and slowly lower down. And then just let the arms release down. Just do a little shake out of the arms, a little shake out of the feet that we're just working. And then come back to that mountain pose. Again, feet hip distance apart. So the traditional pose that we always think of in balance, for yoga and a balance pose is tree pose. Tree pose. So we're going to start with our right foot as our standing leg. You're going to bring the hands to the hips. There's a couple important things as we set up for this balancing posture. You're going to lift the left heel up off the mat. Transfer your weight into the right foot. So you're feeling all four corners of the right foot, but that does not mean that you drop your weight over into the hip. So we keep our core muscles engaged, and we're keeping that hip right over top of the heel. And then very gently, again, find your focal point. You're going to lift that left foot up off the mat, draw the knee in up towards the chest. Just find your balance here, and then gently turn the knee to the side. So a couple places here. You can land that foot back down, toes to the floor with the left heel resting above the right ankle. You can bring your foot onto your inner calf. You can bring your foot up to the inner thigh. You can keep your hands at the hips. You can bring the hands in a prayer position at the heart. Again, just make sure you're breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you fall out of the pose, doesn't make any difference at all. You just come right back. Hands can stay at the heart. If you like, you can bring the arms up and overhead. Again, make sure you're breathing and make sure you're gently focused on that focal point, that drishti. Inhale and exhale. You can let the arms come straight out to the side. And then let the arms float down. Bring the hands back to the heart. and then gently release that left leg back down. Release the hands and just take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. So second side, again, reestablish that foundation. Maybe take a glance down at the feet. Make sure you have that hip distance apart. Eventually, you'll know what that feels like. You won't even have to look at your feet anymore. So hands again to the hips. Bend the right knee. Bring the right heel up off the mat. Again, check alignment with this left leg. Make sure you're not dumping your weight into your left hip. Use core muscles to keep that alignment. And then pick that right knee up. Again, find your balance here. Inhaling and exhaling. You might notice that one leg's easier than the other to be the standing leg. And then turning that knee to the side. Again, maybe the toes land back down on the mat with the heel above the ankle. Maybe they again land on the inner calf. Maybe they come up to the inner thigh. Your hands can stay at your heart, or excuse me, your hips or the heart. Inhale and exhale. Again, the breath is more important than the position of the leg. So if you find you're holding your breath, trying to keep the leg up high, then find a modification, bringing the toes down lower, or you can hold on to something. That's absolutely fine too. Arms can come overhead. Inhale and exhale. Arms can come out to the side. Let the arms float down. Bring the hands again to the heart. And then gently release the right leg back down. Let the hands come down. Just pause for a moment. Maybe close the eyes. Just notice how the body feels. Inhaling and exhaling. And then gently let the eyes open. So that is a quick introduction to some simple balancing poses in yoga. And again, anytime we work on our balance off the mat, beneficial for us when we're in the saddle. And when we work on the mat, beneficial for when we are in the saddle. Also too, your balance is crucial, throughout your life. So we want to always have that steady strength to help us with our balance as we go through our daily lives. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks. Bye-bye.